Hello everybody, welcome on this new lecture on Citrix. We are now going to speak about the storefront. The storefront is very important because it's where the user will be connected, where the receiver will be connected. We'll see that there is a four-way to connect to the storefront. So first of all, let's see, of course, the two different way to access to your resources. So we have the storefront and the NetScaler gateway. So the storefront is a VM where you will install the storefront component, and the storefront will do the authenticated user. So that means that the storefront will have access to the domain controller, and of course, it will authenticate user about site hosting resources and manage the desktop and application stores that users have access to. Because you will see that in our lab, when we will install the storefront, we will have to create a store. So a store is just a IS website. It can host your enterprise application store, giving users self-service access to desktop and application that you make available to them. So it's really like a self-service. Okay, I have a page where I can see all my application and my desktop. It can be a server desktop or it can be a VDI desktop, and it communicates with the broker using a particular port. And by default, the storefront is communicating with the delivery controller on the port 80. But if you install a certificate on the broker, the storefront will connect through 443, of course. And the NetScaler. The NetScaler is a box or VM that is placed in DMZ and allow authenticate user and send the information to the storefront. So we are talking about reverse web proxy and allow connection to virtual apps and desktop. We're talking about HDX proxy. So when user will connect to the NetScaler we have the information about the storefront and we pass the credential to the storefront. So you just have to authenticate it just once with the NetScaler. So with the NetScaler, we have three type of platform. We have the VPX, we have the MPX, and SDX. The choice is generally made by contribution to two criteria. For example, the SSL throughput, traffic SSL per second, and the SSL transaction per second. So the SSL transaction number per second. For example, if you are building a e-commerce website, you can have it in your back office, and the NetScaler will just connect all the users coming from outside to this web server. And when you have a NetScaler, you can have it at active passive. So this is quite a lot of people are using this. So you have one NetScaler active, the other one passive, and they will share all the configuration. And if there is issue in Heartbeat, the second one will be active. You can have also the NetScaler in active cluster. So a cluster is a group of 42 N cores, so NetScaler node with a single image. So be careful, some features are not activable, are not active. And you can have active, and passive on Azure with Azure Load Balancer, for example. Be careful because some features are not, of course, you cannot active some of the feature. So what is a storefront? The storefront is the function of the storefront is to do authentication and do enumeration and aggregate their resources and give them access to those resources. So storefront can be used in parallel with existing web interface installation, but both products should be installed on the same server. NetScaler can be used to redirect client to the appropriate product if necessary. So storefront is the interface that authenticated user manage application and workstation and host the application store. So this is really important to understand that the storefront is going to communicate with the delivery controller via the protocol XML. It's not the file XML, it's a protocol. And the best solution, the best practice is to install a certificate on your storefront and use a load balancing solution. So of course, I recommend you to have at least, of course, two storefronts. So before that, I just want to show you and to explain you what is the prerequisite when you will install this storefront. So the storefront can be installed on 2016, 2012 R2, or 2012 or 2008 R2 SP1. The minimum is 2 GB of memory. the IIS web server role will be installed, and he will install also .NET Framework, PowerShell, and a Microsoft Management Console. Of course, I recommend to have a dedicated server for the storefront. Avoid to install it, of course, in the same server than the delivery controller. It's really a best practice. I know that a lot of you will want to install the storefront with the delivery controller. This is not really a best practice. Even if you can do sharing port, the best practice is to install it on a separate server. So let's go on our infrastructure and install our first storefront. So for that, I will have this VM, and the VM that I will show you. It will be a VM where you will install the storefront. So be aware that really you must have a dedicated VM for the storefront. For that, what I'm going to show you is that, okay, I just have a small reconnection problem to my session, but it will be soon okay. And we will install, we'll map the ISO on the storefront, of course, and after we'll start to install the storefront. So here we have the first one, it's storefront 1. So let's do a connection on this one and just do a connect here. So let's go on my storefront here. Yes, that's it. And let's connect with my admin account. This is the best practice, okay? Never do it with the local account, of course. So I'm going to connect with my password here, and of course I will go here on my media, I will go here on my DVD drive, and I will insert my CU4. Okay, so this is it, so it's this one, and I will install the storefront here. So after we'll see how to create a store. It will be another lecture to see how to install the store. The store is very important because it's really where the user will connect. So I have some Windows update. I will install them later here. So let's go here on my Explorer and go and start to install the storefront here. I don't have actually any certificate. We'll do that after in the lecture. So just jump to the installation. Go on XenApps and desktop. This is not very important. And here you have the storefront here. So let's click on storefront, and he will start to do the installation of the storefront. Okay. So it's really very simple to do that. Just have to do auto run and install the storefront. And he will install, of course, IIS. He will install all the prerequisites for you. And let's start to do it. And just follow the this wizard. Okay, it's very simple. So here you see that he will install IIS, and he will open the 80 for free. By default, you will connect to 80, but we will do in the next lecture, we will install a certificate. This is very important to install a certificate on the storefront, because you will see that one of the possibility is that the receiver can connect directly to the storefront, and for that he will need SSL. By default, when you access the storefront, you access it through a web browser, and that's all. And after, of course, in the next lecture, we'll see how to create the store. But before that, I will explain you what is a store. After, in the high availability section, we'll install, of course, a second storefront. And for that, we'll create a Windows group server. And we will have two storefront. Be aware that if you install two storefront, of course, there is no load balancing solution for that. You will have to create a VIP. Virtual IP on the NetScaler, or you can use the network load balancing solution from Microsoft. The best practice is really to use the NetScaler, and we will install the NetScaler. It will be pre-installed at the NetScaler. It's not a course on NetScaler, and after we'll use the NetScaler to add our server services and our virtual server, and so the user will connect directly to the VIP here. So here now he's installing the storefront. And he will start the component and do initialization. Okay, so what we will do is that I'm going to stop this recording, and you will see the next recording where the IIS will be installed. Okay, thank you, and hope to see you in the next lecture. Bye bye.